with another thud on the
noise
window.
on the glass. I recognized it instantly. The sound of a snowball hitting the window.
Christmas and horror don't really synergize very well together as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I've never really been exposed to Christmas horror stories. There have been some Nightmare Before Christmas type things with the Ghost of Christmas Past or whatever that was like really scary or creepy or gloomy. And there's probably a few instances of weird Snowman movies and stuff like that. Frosty in itself, the original cartoon, that was kind of weird. He'd show up and say happy birthday, and I always thought that was a bit strange. I know there was a story behind it and stuff like that. It was kind of creepy when you think about it, kind of like creepy in the way that Thomas the Train is creepy. But there's a Christmas horror story that I've been wanting to react to. Now it's getting kind of close to the date. I figured, why not? It's by Animated Horror Flicks, and it's called The Snowman. We're going to react to it now. Make sure to head on over to his channel, guys, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into this animation. Animated Horror Flicks presents... Cabin in the Woods. No, The Snowman. Cabin in the Woods was a scary movie. Or was it Cabin Fever?
I was a struggling ghostwriter, and I thought a break away from the city to spend time at a remote ski resort would be a good way to clear my head and help me get back on my feet.
Okay.
There weren't any other cabins around, so I was guaranteed a few weeks to reflect and enjoy the isolation.
There you go.
At least that was the case until the final week of my stay, which made this Christmas truly unforgettable.
I bet. Isolation is one of those things, guys, it can be very, very therapeutic, you know? No interruptions from any other people, social media, things of that nature. I get some of my best thinking done when I'm all by myself, to tell you the truth. In the mornings early when everybody is either asleep or they've already left to go to work, and I'm by myself in my studio thinking to myself about what I could do, you know, productive thoughts mostly. So for writers, it's got to be pretty good to be able to clear your head like this.
It first started at night when I suddenly woke up. Initially, I didn't know if it was from something I heard or from a bad dream. But either way, I felt compelled to look out the window.
Alright.
Which is when I noticed the snowman in the distance.
Okay. Was it there
Back
before?
when I was a kid, I would have been delighted at the mere sight of a snowman.
Right.
But that sense of childhood nostalgia was soon silenced by the realization that I wasn't alone out there in the woods.
So he's thinking somebody made a snowman. It wasn't there before, apparently. I gotta say, if you think you're completely isolated and you notice anything out of place, like when you're camping, if things have been moved around when you've been sleeping, you know, you wake up in the morning, you see things that have clearly been moved. That's got to be a very, very unnerving feeling. We've reacted to some camping horror stories before, and that type of thing gives me some bad chills, man, because it's so realistic that it could happen, right?
The cabin where I was staying was the only one this side of the valley, so it seemed like a really long way to walk just to build a snowman.
Right.
Despite the uncanny feeling, I was still far too tired to give it too much thought, and managed to sleep through the rest of the night.
Alright.
The following morning, to no surprise, the snowman was still there.
Of course.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it right then, but I got this strange notion that something was different about the snowman.
Had it moved?
I decided to carry on about my day and didn't think much of it, until later at night, when it happened again. I woke up suddenly for no apparent reason. I don't remember having a bad dream, but I guess it's common not to remember the dreams that we have.
It's true.
Even the really bad ones. It felt like deja vu, and I found myself once again gazing through the bedroom window.
That is a little bit bizarre.
I could still see the snowman, even clearer now. I couldn't quite figure out why, but it gave me this odd sensation. I also started to wonder why the snowman was facing towards the cabin.
Ah.
And why anyone would build a snowman all the way out here.
So if somebody really just wanted to mess with you, that's a good way of doing it, I suppose. Yeah, making sure that the same thing is happening, but just a little bit different, you know? Like, I could have sworn the thing was somewhere, like, yesterday, and now it's just a little bit different. I can't quite put my finger on it. It would get the puzzle. That's even if he noticed it, though. You know what I mean? He's in isolation, so there's not much going on to distract him from noticing something like this. I don't know if it's an anomaly yet. It might just be somebody messing with him, but I have the feeling that this may be supernatural as well.
There weren't any other cabins around for miles.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sleep all that much after that, so the next morning, I decided to head outside the cabin for a closer look.
Take a look at it, yeah.
I looked around, but just as I expected, there was no trace of anyone, although it was hard to be sure, considering how poor the visibility was due to the weather. I chose to knock the snowman down just for good measure, since it was already beginning to feel like some kind of bad omen.
Right.
Maybe I was overreacting, it was just some kids fooling around, but at least I wouldn't have to think about it anymore.
No. He's completely... Look, I did that before. You ever seen, like, a doll in your house that just gave you the creeps? Like, it felt like it was staring at you or something like that, and you went put it in another room, or, you know, I've had instances before where things have creeped me out like that, you know, and it always feels better just to do something to it, you know. I had a Baby Yoda doll, all right, that was given to me a little while back as a gift. He's pretty large, okay, and it was in the corner of my bedroom because my nephew loves to play with it and he takes it all over the place. Typically, it's in my office with all of my props behind me, you know, for my gaming stuff, but honestly, this one, he just moved it to the bedroom, you know. And one morning, I woke up, and it just felt like that thing was staring at me. Now, I know better. I'm a grown man. There's no reason to think that there's anything evil about this. But it just creeped me out to the point to where I just wanted to turn it around. And I felt a lot better when I did.
Or so I thought. The following night, things got even worse.
Oh.
I woke up again, but now I knew for sure it wasn't from a dream.
It was a
loud thud.
Right. Maybe a branch
like
falling?
The sound of something hitting the window.
Oh, the window. Oh, that's different.
I glanced through the window and was shocked to see the same snowman, identical from the day before.
Somebody's playing a trick on you.
I remember turning in quite late that night, and there was no sign of a snowman when I turned out the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty sure that it wasn't a kid's prank. I mean, who would let their kids out this late to build a snowman?
It's not kids,
what was
maybe
that
it's an
noise on
adult.
the window? The last thing I wanted to do is go outside in the blistering cold, but I knew that if I waited until the morning, any footprints would most likely be covered by another thick layer of snow.
What if somebody's trying to draw him out?
I reluctantly got dressed, stepped outside, and walked up to the snowman.
It worked if they were.
Which is when I discovered a single set of very large footprints leading from and to the forest.
Somebody is messing with him, trying to draw him out.
I couldn't shake this feeling of being watched, and that somehow I had made things worse by destroying the last snowman.
Do it again.
So I decided to leave it alone and quickly headed back to the cabin.
Oh, dang. There's somebody in the corner that gave it a chill so bad.
The bitter cold stayed with me that night as I curled up in bed and tried my best to get warm. But the prospect of getting any sleep that night soon came to an abrupt end.
With another thud on the
window. The noise
window.
on the glass. I recognized it instantly. The sound of a snowball hitting the window. I knew deep down that it could only mean one thing.
They're trying to draw you out, man. Oh my god, dude! Why that scared me so bad? I don't know. Oh.
Needless to say, I didn't sleep a wink that night, and I left the cabin the very next day.
What the heck, dude?
I never knew his name, or ever saw his face, but I came to know him as the Snowman.
Huh. Somebody's messing with you, bruh. Somebody's messing with you. I would have left too, y'all. Straight up. There's no way I would have stayed out there knowing that there was actually somebody actively trying to scare me. Like, there's one thing about having malicious intent, right? You don't know the limits of what a person's willing to do. You just know the fact that they're taking satisfaction in making you uncomfortable. And that by itself is enough to warrant me leaving. You don't want to do anything bad to these people. Would you really just want to get revenge on them and beat them up or anything, or shoot them? Of course not. You know, you just want the situation to be over with. You feel like a victim because you're scared and somebody's messing with you. I would have done exactly the same thing. Deposits or no deposits or whatever. Such a weird instance to happen though with a snowman. Oh well. It's Christmas related at any rate, and if I don't get to tell you before then, I hope you have happy holidays, guys. We're still a little bit out from the holidays, but it's this time of year where I really get sentimental and I appreciate everything. And the channel's growing well, and you guys are being so amazing in the comments and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. I hope you have happy holidays, guys. Love you guys. Merry Christmas.